What is up, gang? It is I, Carlton Flowers, your CryptoPro.
Yay!
And today we are going to do something completely different. I am going to give you some advice, 8 tips on how you can become a shark out here in this VeVe game. But before I jump into the advice, I need all of you to understand right now that this advice that I'm giving you ain't financial. In other words, it is not financial advice. Because anything that I say in this video, if you go and put this into implementation, you could end up a stinking homeless bum living in an alleyway outside of a cardboard box, jumping into dumpsters for your dinner. All right, well, let's just roll right into this with the 8 tips. And this is just 8 critical points of how I play my VeVe game, all right? So we're gonna roll through this, and then we'll end up with a little bonus advice and some shout outs. And hey, I hope you take something home from this and post in the comments what your favorite tip is from this list. With no further ado, we will jump in to item number 1.
Stay back. Keep an arm's length distance from the action.
That's right. While all of y'all are up front, all up in the VeVe team's business, chatting on Twitter every day, jibber jabbering about every last little detail, I'm back here like this. And I'm just watching from behind the scenes, keeping an arm's length distance from all of the FOMO, the jabber, the news, even the drops. Sometimes I sleep through drops. Sometimes I'll say I'm gonna go for a drop, and then I'll oversleep and I'll say, well, everything happens for a reason. And then when I check the app, that item that I was about to FOMO into is selling for below retail. So I really am careful on purpose. You might think that I'm not paying attention, and because I haven't shot a VeVe video in a long time, but I promised I would get something out, and I'm gonna give you not just this video, but 2. This one's not the market report where I'm gonna tell you what I've been doing. This is just advice. So I'm gonna give you 2 videos, 2 VeVe videos for the price of 1. So that's the first thing. Keep an arm's length distance. I'm always keeping an arm's length distance, and that helps me to control my emotions, or I don't FOMO into stuff like a lot of you guys do, where you end up leaving a lot of gems on the table, buying into frenzies, getting stuff where you end up holding something that is 100 gems less than the price that you paid for it, type of thing. So slow your roll, back off, chill out, keep an arm's length distance, and keep yourself under control. All right, here we go. Point number 2.
Don't get attached to your stuff.
That's right. It's very dangerous when you get attached to these NFTs. I've been there. I've been very attached. And that is part of the reason why I've got over 1,000 comics and about 900 and some odd items. I don't even know how many. And I have over 1 million MCP. I can't even say the name right. I have over 1 million MCP points. But the reason why I have so much stuff is because I started getting attached to my collection. Yeah, I was stacking, but I stacked a little too much on some of the comics that I really loved the artwork on, and I went a little overboard. Some comics I've got up to 50 common editions, and I own at least one of every rarity, from the common all the way to the secret rare. And then certain other items I've been attached to where I didn't sell on the peak. Like when Darth Vader, the animated, sailed up to 3,000 gems, and I held on thinking that we were about to enter into a bull market, and I'd watch it come all the way down to about 450 gems. Don't let yourself get attached. Stay in control, detach from it, and when you see that you can churn a profit, you need to take it and run. All right, let's get to tip number 3. I said point, but it's a tip. So here we are. Number 3,
Don't FOMO into every drop.
I'm telling you what. You boys and girls who are out there on top of every single one of these crazy drops, like the last one that I saw that it might even drop today and I didn't even know, or maybe it drops tomorrow. There's a clock, the Loki clock face girl thing. I don't even know what that is. It's a secret rare. There's 1,500 of it. It's not animated. Skip, pass. I'm not doing that. The only drops that I really pay attention to are the legendary classic drops. How do you know when they're legendary and classic? You listen to experts. You tune in to the superstars. You listen to Dokta Strange. Yay! For the comics, to know which one of those comics are the best. You know, I consult the experts. Bones, shout out to Bones. Yay! That was a delayed reaction there. I also talk to my newfound friend, Seany Poo. Shout out to Seany Poo. Yay! You saw him on that roundtable discussion that we had on the Superstar channel. Check in with these people, subscribe to their channels, and make sure that you know how to meter. You know, don't go jumping headfirst into each and every one, but know how to meter your excitement. Just pour a little bit out of your cup of excitement. Don't dump it into every drop. All right, moving on along. Tip number 4, and this is very important.
Don't expect gameplay to be fair.
Guys, I've been in this from the jump. VeVe came on the scene in October of 2020, and I jumped in February at the end of the month. And I've been there since the early days when it was me and JT and Adam. Shout out to them. They're the original gang. Yay! And we remember when the drops would crash the app, when you would get error after error after error, when they would tell you that you want an item and then it wouldn't deliver, and you'd have to get a secret rare handout because they oversold an item. It used to be a lot worse than it is right now, okay? We jumped in way back when, and we know that the gameplay is not fair. Stop expecting it to be fair, because it never will be fair. There's a happy medium between restricting all of the cheaters and the scammers and the bots, and also being able to market and get worldwide reach. And I don't think they found that balance point just yet, but be smart. Don't expect every drop and for this gameplay to be fair, because it ain't gonna be. Go ahead and price that in to your VeVe experience ahead of time, and then you won't be so frustrated when things don't go your way. All right, moving right along. Tip number 5.
These crazy pumps are not new members, they're whales.
That's right. And if you don't believe me, reel back and watch the Superstars video. They just talked about this, about a month ago? About how we've been having all these spikes. You know, we get these runs and everybody gets excited and they think that this is the bull market. Or whenever you've got a special going on, like collecting the stupid stones for the gauntlet, and everybody just goes bananas and ends up spending more money than the value of the secret rare airdrop item that you get at the end of all of the, special promotion that's going on. And so these pumps are going on from the people that are already on the app. There aren't new members flooding in. So it's the FOMO and the specials, but it's the whales when it's not like an airdrop special. When you see random items pumping where they sweep the floors, those are whale sweeps. And it's just classic manipulation, because they're drawing you in to buy after something gets pumped up, and then that price drops down and you sell for a loss right back to that same whale that caused the frenzy. So just realize right now that this is not the bull run. We don't have a massive influx, and when those spikes are happening, it's all within the current community. Don't forget that. Number 6.
Watch the charts before you buy.
I don't understand why people buy into these little mini pumps and runs without looking at the chart, because when you can look at a chart and you see that something's been in distribution and then it pops up, you know it's going to float back down. You should never buy on a spike. You should always buy when an item is laying low on the ground like a lazy dog who doesn't want to kick up a sweat. He's way deep down south, the sun is overhead, it's 100 degrees outside, and he ain't moving a muscle. That's when you want to buy something, when nobody else is thinking about it or talking about it. Once they go into action and start pumping and spiking up, it's too late. And so you can get hung out to dry buying an item on a spike that goes back down into accumulation, and it could take you months or even years before you get to your break-even price. But when you learn to buy at the right time, you can avoid getting hung out to dry like that. All right, that brings me to tip number 7.
Be a contrarian. Play against the masses.
That's right. You won't see me making moves or playing a strategy that 80-90% of everyone else is playing. There's a reason for that. I'm in this for money. It is fun. I love this. It's a great way to learn how to trade, and it's a great introduction to blockchain and cryptocurrency. And I do think that this VeVe market is the most robust and active market of anything out there. And it is relatively safe, even though it's a walled garden. I don't do much with many of the other platforms. There is one that Dokta Strange and the Superstars and Seany Poo and Bones Bonneville did cause me to get excited about, but that's for another video. However, back to being a contrarian, I'm usually making moves that is the complete opposite of what the masses do. I'm stacking up stuff that everybody forgets about, and then when some crazy rumor comes out and those items peak, or spike rather, I'm selling them off. Like the Coke globes that I was buying as low as $3.50, and I sold a boatload. I think I sold 9 Coke globes in the 10 to 15 gem price, and I was buying these from between $3.50 and maybe at most $7. So I was making, double to triple or quadruple on selling these things because I bought them when everybody else had forgotten about it. Make contrarian moves and you will make money. It brings us to the last tip, number 8.
Make your plan now for profiting during the bull run.
That's the biggest tip. Plan now before the crazy bull run hits. Decide what your exit points are on items by studying the peak prices of prior runs. If you wait until a market cycle peak, let's say for instance, the animated Darth Vader goes to 5,000 instead of 3,000. And let's say 5,000 is the peak, the all-time high. If you don't sell while it's going vertical and you wait till it hits that peak, you're done. Because they're just listings at that point. Just because it says 5,000 on the app doesn't mean that there's people to buy at that price. There might be zero liquidity. In other words, no buyers for the listed sellers. You need to consider that. It's not like crypto or stocks where you look at the current price and there's trading going on at that price. You can have Darth Vader sitting at 5,000 at the market cycle peak and not a single one sells for days. And then the undercutting starts. And as the undercutting starts, you're not going to be able to unload because people are going to be cutting your price, and then you could be chasing it all the way back down. But when you sell that item before it gets to that peak, because you had set a price before, say 3,500 or 4,000, if it hits 4,000 gems and you've listed it ahead of time, like I know Rob and Joe list items way before, and I think it was Rob that sold a partner statue and made a great profit on it, where he said he set it at a price that he thought, well, nobody's gonna buy this, but then it had an intermediary pump, and sure enough, he sold it, made a profit. So he planned ahead. Now, You need to list down those items after studying the chart and decide your exit points in your strategy before the bull run hits, as you want to be selling those things, converting to gems, and being able to convert that to OMI or USDT and getting out before the next bear market. So those are my 8 tips, and my bonus tip is this. You need to study the experts who are providing top level content. I've got links to these content creators right in the description. You're gonna see Dokta Strange.
Yay!
He gives the reports on the comics. If you are not subbed to him, you're messing up. You're gonna see a link to the superstars.
Yay!
They give you the best reports. They break down the numbers and their market price or their drop day price predictions. They're unparalleled. Nobody does it better than the superstars. You're gonna see who else is in there. I've got Thompson.
Yay!
He's still in there. He's an OG from day one. And then check out Seany Poo. I'm gonna have his YouTube channel.
Yay!
It's gonna be the new one listed in there with all of the OGs, and I've got several others. I can't think of them all on the top of my head, but go ahead and sub to those people. And make sure you sub to Seany Poo. We're trying to get him kicked up there. He's just getting started, and we want to get him to a couple hundred subscribers. So post in the comments what your favorite tip was. And if you got some extra tips, mention them in the comments, and maybe I will announce the best tips and advice that came from the comment section on my next video. So that's about all we have for this edition, but I would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe to the CryptoPro channel. And if you would like to help me to defray these expensive costs of producing this channel, you can do so with the giving of a super thanks. And I thank you in advance for doing so. All right, next video, I will tell you what I've been doing on the market, what I've been buying, and what I've been selling. But you're gonna have to stay tuned for that. It's coming very soon. This is Carlton, and I am out.